don't want Mark to...
Welcome to the Prisoner to Painter podcast, stories of inspiration, where we talk about mental health, addiction, religion, becoming a business owner and self-sufficient, for what, when, where, and why. Join us and we can be your local hope dealer.
Inspiration and dedication. I came a long way from sleeping in them pages. I got my life back. I feel amazing. Life's a book, don't get stuck on sad pages. Rainy days with no money. Hard work leads to days that are sunny. Looking back, it was all needed. The problems, the pain, the trauma, the grieving. You are now tuned in to the prisoner to painter. Prisoner to painter. Hard work, dedication. Rainy days, inspiration. Prisoner to painter.
And now, a word from your local hope dealer.
And we're live on both.
Welcome to the Prisoner to Painter podcast. I'm Nathan McDermott.
And I'm Katie McDermott.
Thank you for joining us today on, not on such short notice. We unfortunately had a cancellation. It is okay. As something came up, I believe his grandmother died or his mother died.
Oh, that's so sad.
Something of that nature. So unfortunately, he could not make it today. I was really looking forward for you guys to hear his story, being struck by lightning and going to prison, military school. There's a lot of story there, so I hope we can figure out how to get him on in the future. But since the cancellation, I do want to talk about just two little things. To make sure we go live every time that we say we're going to go live, so that I'm very adamant. Even though there was a cancellation, I still want to talk a little bit. So the first thing I want to talk about, you see this gorgeous room, beautiful. He's a hell of an artist. It is my brother-in-law, Mark Mall. He named his company the Missing Mall Masonry and Memorial Benches and more.
A little bit of backstory to that. It's been 3 years since my nephew passed, which was his son. So I think that kind of inspired the name for the company.
Yeah.
He was a wonderful kid. My brother's a wonderful guy. Get a little teary about it, but
It actually sounds like he's coming in upstairs.
yeah.
Yeah. So no meaning to rush, but yeah, his son Donovan unfortunately passed, is why it's called the Missing Mall. If you want any masonry, any memorial benches, or he's a hell of a contractor, feel free to call him, Mark Mall, at 517-499-2417. One more time, that is 517-499-2417. Or you can email him at mark.mall.junior@gmail.com. He is based out of Concord, Michigan, and he's servicing Jackson County. So feel free, like I said, to give him a call if you have any masonry or contracts you need.
And he's not the Mark Mall I tagged in the video. That is his oldest. So.
Yeah. But he does not have a Facebook, so that's the closest thing we could get to it.
Yep.
And then second thing I just wanted to touch base on, Seymour Black. I am very grateful to him and for him. He's coming on Sunday. He's one of the first and only people to advertise that he's coming on the podcast. So I only say that because I slowly see us getting not bigger, but slowly going towards our goal.
Recognition.
Yep. So he says, very excited to be on the Prisoner to Painter podcast with Nathan McDermott this Sunday. I'll be talking about my upbringing, addictions, trauma, music, and maybe drop a few think pieces. Tune in if you are available, is what his status said. So I just wanted to talk briefly about one of the words he said. He said, talk about trauma, and people think of trauma. I don't know how people think of trauma, but I know that it's very stigmatized.
There's a stigma surrounding trauma. It's not just something that veterans experience. You can experience trauma from anything. So
And I understand dropping that one lighter and it blowing up while we were on drugs has still made me terrified of dropping lighters. So I know, bad reference, but I get it. But trauma is a psychological and emotional response to a deeply distressing or overwhelming event that poses a serious threat to a person's physical or mental well-being. It can be defined as a significant and overwhelming event is an event that exceeds a person's coping abilities and causes intense fear, helplessness, or horror. A threat to physical or mental health is an event that poses a real or perceived risk of serious injury, death, or significant psychological distress. and then a lasting impact, an event that leaves a significant and enduring impact on a person's life, causing changes in their thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and relationships. Trauma can be caused by a single event, such as a car accident or a violent assault, or by repeated exposure to stressful or dangerous situations, such as chronic abuse or war. It is important to note that not everyone who experiences a traumatic event will develop trauma symptoms.
So trauma, fun fact,
There goes our furnace. Sorry.
trauma is not the event itself. It is your experience linked to that event. So trauma is very specific to you.
Yep.
It is your response. Trauma is your response to an event that was traumatic.
So make sure to tune in Sunday and hear Seymour's Black's trauma.
I also have some synonyms really quick I just pulled up. So some synonyms for the word trauma would be agony, anguish, blow, confusion, damage, injury, ordeal, shock, strain, stress, suffering, torture, upheaval, and wound. So
Awesome. Well, so before we close out, I know it was very brief. We were going to do our story, but there's still some healing to be done there for me and her. So you guys will eventually hear our stories together, just not today. Secondly, I'm sorry that the video is so short. We'll just make Sundays even longer. So Seymour, you better do a lot of talking. No.
I do want to add that our story. So there's like your story, and then there's like a sickness story, like like an illness story where you're talking about how it was in the illness, in the sickness. Whereas, we're trying to be uplifting. So sometimes there's the illness or sickness story, and then there's the actual, like, this is my story. You don't have to add all the illness and things. And I think that's what makes it a little harder because we're still healing from some of the sickness. So
Most definitely. So once again, I apologize that today was so short. Please tune in Sunday. You will not be disappointed. Secondly, I want to just reiterate, this room is gorgeous. This was all his idea, all of his artwork. He's a phenomenal guy, phenomenal contractor, phenomenal masoner,
Mason.
all the way, all around a great guy. So once again, the Missing Mall Masonry and Memorial Benches and more, Mark Mall, 517-499-2417, or mark.mall.junior@gmail.com, based out of Concord, Michigan, serving Jackson County.
Let me see that. I'm gonna go run it up, like, so you can.
I got it, and then you can tell me when.
It's a little blurry. I guess that didn't work the way I wanted to. Back up. Yeah, it's not gonna work. We can post a picture of it. Okay.
See you guys Sunday at 2:00. Make sure to tune in. It's going to be a really, really good one. I'm excited to see an old friend, but also see how far he's come. So see you guys Sunday. 2:00
All right.
promptly.
And bear with us. We're ending 2 lives. So see you guys Sunday.
Sunday. Pew, 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 pew.
Okay.